Greetings, Nier enthusiasts and others! I'm sure we all love the soundtracks and lore for the games. So I wonder, what makes it so good? Well, in my personal opinion, I believe it's the blend of emotional story beats and amazing soundtrack that plays and fits with the scene perfectly. So today, I will be going in depth on the music and how it affects some of the game's major story moments. Since this is the case, it is also important to note that I am analyzing themes in the story sections and that of the such. This includes all of the games in the Draken universe, so yes, there will be spooky spoilers. Although, if I'm being honest with myself for a second here, this video is just an excuse for me to gloat about Nier's OST, sorry. Drakengard has a major plot point in the game, which is the concept of song. Now, I would go into how good Drakengard's music is because, you know, I just love Drakengard's music. But the song is not your normal song. It's kind of like a metaphorical song. It is literally a tangible force in the universe that the intoners use as attacks. They also use it to summon angels, and I think that's cool. This will be important later. But a lot of Drakengard's OST is built into the songs and battles. For example, whenever the player goes into intoner mode, some snazzy vocals are put into the background music. The background music by itself is alright, but when the vocals are put into it, it's pretty awesome. The vocal versions of the tracks are some of my favorites in the Drakengard series. I also think it is cool that the tracks are split up into vocal and non-vocal versions, which is something the Nier games do. Now back to the intoners and the concept of song. Whenever the intoners sing in a cutscene, their vocals are simultaneously put into the boss music. Here's an example.
Behold, the fifth song, grand light of antiquity, the great power made manifest, the ceremony of glorious arrival. Burn into thine eyes the punishing lance of divine retribution. I, Dito, summon thee in my name. Phanuel, arise!
It is also worthy to note that the intoner's song usually matches their personality. Now, I'm not talking about Zero's constant barrage of swear words, but instead, when 5 sings, it is loud and boisterous, kind of like opera. 3 is absolutely insane, so she starts hers off with maniacal laughing, and 2 has depression, so she sounds depressed. The intoners don't usually use their song as an attack. Instead, this is substituted with summoning an angel, which their disciples usually help them with. What is really cool, in my opinion, is that angels are typically shown to sing holy verses to glorify a higher power. But in Drakengard, the higher powers sing to summon an angel. That's pretty cool. I also just think that angels humming or making spooky sounds is cool, and it is something I enjoy in other forms of media. For example, Evangelion. Back to the important stuff, the final boss though, which is an intoner, uses song as an attack. This is one of the other exceptions I had mentioned before. It really does make the intoners feel more powerful than they actually are since they are singing to kill you. Speaking of more music, Nier Replicant uses music in all sorts of ways, like Devila and Popola. They sing the Song of the Ancients. I mean, technically Emmy Evans sings the Song of the Ancients, but canonically it's Devila and Popola. And the OST for the game is just so freaking good. Okay, hold on for 1 second. I have to talk about how amazing this game's OST is. The game blends the vocals with the in-game narrative in a way that I cannot express. I mean, I am going to express it, but besides that, blending the OST with gameplay or the narrative makes most of the scenes more impactful. Like, the freaking Shadow Lord's theme is so good and is easily one of my favorite tracks out of the entirety of Nier, and maybe even all time. Like, my god, listen to how it hypes up at the end of the game.
Made it this far because you were with us, Kane.
Damn it. What is this?
Do you see?
Shut the fuck up!
It is able to build up emotion so effortlessly as the player reverses the irreversible. This allows for a recap of all of the player's doings as you save the one person who caused the end of humanity. Back to the lore though. Devila and Popola sing all the versions of the Song of the Ancients. I mean, it's literally like their song. Such versions included is the Village Library and their boss theme. There is even another version of the song tied to a side quest, or, you know, YouTube. Even in the background of their boss fight, Popola is dancing, which I think is hilarious. It is as if she is dancing to the song she is singing. They don't use the song as an attack or a direct attack, but the song does hold weight to the overall story as the lyrics directly explain the game's story. In a vague sense, that is. You get the point I'm going for here. It is also important to mention that the song being played as the village theme makes restarting the game that much more unsettling. And once again, this is a Nier game, so the Song of the Ancients is literally a masterpiece. Go listen to it for yourself. Other than that, though, Nier Replicant has a section in Act 2 called Episode Mermaid. Once again, they use the same melody for different sections of the game. The song is called Fleeting Worlds, and the different versions of it have different names, such as Fleeting Worlds Family. The song Fleeting Worlds itself plays throughout the shipwreck section and the boss fight. Overall, the boss, who is named Louise, is similar in appearance to a little girl. No, not Mana similar, thank God, but she looks like a little girl nonetheless. The important part though is that she fights using her voice just like the Intoners did. The interesting thing about Louise, though, is the fact that she just wants to become human. This, for instance, is so she can live with the postman and the human world without getting called out as a shade. I mean, some would say she would want to be beautiful. What is a good touch is whenever she does use the song attack, the screen darkens and the music becomes quieter. Specifically, it is a cappella version of the song. I personally find it interesting that this section of the game we are talking about is called the Mermaid episode. This is interesting because of her relation to sirens. Sirens sing a beautiful song in order to attract sailors into the water to kill them. The similarity came from when Louise attracted people from the village into the boat to kill them, just like a siren would. She did this because she believed she could become human by murdering more humans, or eating more humans. Of course, though, this would not work. I mean, I don't need humans to become human. I'm already human. In the end, she is just another shade to be cut down. Silly shade, you can't become human. Anyway, her boss theme is really good to no one's surprise. This is Nier Replicant after all. Similar to Nier Replicant, Nier Automata does a similar thing with the music being tied to the story. I mean, Devila and Popola are here again and I guess better than ever. And with Devila and Popola, the Song of the Ancients returns. This was in a scene that brought me to tears. Devila and Popola get to die together instead of being cut down one after another, like animals. Also, the amusement park boss, Simone, uses music in an interesting way in her boss fight as well. I believe this takes themes from Nier Replicant and even Drakengard. Just like Drakengard 3's Intoners, she starts off the fight with a song into boss music, just like the Intoners would. The entire theme of her character and boss fight at that is to become beautiful, to impress a male machine. Silly machine, think it can have emotions? That's crazy. Simone's beauty, though, is something I think is similar to Louise in Nier Replicant. Originally, Episode Mermaid was cancelled from the original game and was subjected to a short story. So my theory is that maybe they put the themes from Episode Mermaid into Nier Automata. I also think there's some correlation there because Simone does use music-based attacks. The entire boss fight feels like a cycle or a dance with Simone as you fight her. A dance to the death, as you will. And guess what? This even loops back to Popola. Remember how she dances in the background of her song? I told you that was important. And to everybody's surprise, Simone's theme is really, really good. Lastly, I want to discuss the final topic at hand. Whenever a machine calls itself God, we know something bad is going to happen. So in Automata, they have the machines repeat the phrase "become as gods" over and over and over until it blends into the boss music. It all comes back to Drakengard, because of course it does. Overall, Nier has the theme of song blended into the narrative, via the OST blending really well with scenes, and also the OST literally explaining story segments. In Drakengard 1, all the characters mention that they hear a song at ending E. I mean, not all the characters, but the player can physically hear a song in ending E. What is this song, you might ask? It is the Queen Beast song. She sings a song at the end of the known world, or, I guess Earth. A terrible song sung by the past Intoners, which is why in Nier Replicant, when I heard the twins in the tree explain they heard a song, my mind began racing. Side note, once again, the music blends way too well in that scene. It literally kills me every single time, in tears and in just raw emotion. It is so freaking good. Okay, back to the twins though. I began thinking, since they possess knowledge over the entire world and of all time, could they have heard the song of the Queen Beast? Or maybe they broke the fourth wall and heard the song playing in a literal sense. I believe that we can hear these songs in Nier that bring us back to what we remember. I think that's why so many versions of songs are repeated, like Emil for instance, or even Kaine's mini versions. Whenever I hear any of those songs, I'd want to cry. On a lesser note, when we hear the intoners sing, we feel their emotions and understand what they've done and what they've been through. Or when Louise and Fleeting Worlds are put together, I cannot begin to imagine what it's like in her shoes, alone as a monster. Human monster. Get it? Because shades are the humans? It all comes full circle. Okay. Maybe even Simone. She gives us a one-way ticket to her emotions through 9S. That's kind of like his whole thing. Music, or perhaps song in the Nier series, gives us a window into the character's emotions as they emotionally touch us players. As I am playing, I can also simultaneously feel the emotions the in-game characters can feel due to the OST. This is the power of Nier's OST, and this is why it is the best soundtrack in gaming. Big talk for a stupid JRPG, I know. Although, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, it is the best soundtrack of gaming, there is no refuting it, but it also is my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, without further ado, farewell Nier fans, and if you aren't, I hope you enjoyed my rambling for a while. I'll see you guys another day when I talk about JoJo's or something.